Hey, what's up, class? My name is Jared, and I'm here presenting my final presentation for our adequacy project. So, as we jump into slide two, I'd like to let you guys know that my point of advocacy that I ended up doing my partnership with was youth development. And essentially, my analysis of this is I think there's a lot of youth being exposed to problems that I don't think that they should have to worry about at a certain age. I think helping develop the youth at a young age will make them understand life better and get through life better. And not helping that will cause generations of hurt from their own generation, but also their kids and their kids, depending on how hurt they are. And overall, I think it's just better communities for the future. Take a second to pause this. I know we're trying to get the ball rolling, so take a second, pause this. This is my personal narrative, and take a read if you guys like. So actually, my organization of choice that goes with youth development is the Chula Vista High School AVID program. A reason why I ended up choosing this was because it was my old high school, and my ex teacher actually is part of the AVID program. So I'm actually internshipping with them for my other EDU class, and also it's just part of my community. So why not give back to students in my community? It just kind of felt like an awesome slash right idea. So for my interview highlights, this is Miss Tenna right here. This is a picture of us together when I graduated. So, but what I kind of wanted to take from that was she has taught me not only when I was a student, but also when I was internshipping with her that, being a teacher is more than just teaching good. It's about being a good human being and creating meaningful relationships with students. And also, what I took from that was that she used data to change her lesson plans. If kids are failing certain classes, she'll implement that certain subject into the class. Or she also really did a good job at putting her ego aside and allowing kids to actually give feedback. I think that was super important. I feel like as teachers, we get egos and don't really uh, allow kids to give us feedback, and I feel like we kind of know we're right in a way. So she always did that, and she always put her ego to the side. So we're jumping into objectives, targets, and key messages now. So some objectives that we wanted to go for was the principal ended up cutting AVID classes for the freshman and the sophomore year, for the sophomore class. So we want to open those back up ASAP. We want to have more kids enroll into AVID by next year. And our ultimate goal is to just show the principal that AVID is actually important and it's actually in demand. Some targets can be like local high schools, middle schools, assessing parents about the issue of our advocacy, and like gathering up the teachers to let them know, like, hey, our classes are getting cut short, and these are college prep AVID classes. Like, these are a pretty big deal. And how do we do that? This is by the key message right here. So possible opponents, friends, family can be possible opponents. Significant others getting in the way of kids. Actually trying in class or taking AVID classes. As I just explained right now, principal problems, and just kind of like students themselves. Some daily activities that we would end up doing in class, we had binder checks, we had TRF sessions, critical discourse, but I think the thing that applied to me the most was the college assistance, helping out kids, to college applications or even college research projects, and even taking them on college campuses and field trips sometimes. So it was pretty cool. Take a second to pause this and look at the statistics. I gathered up these numbers to let you guys know how much people are getting, or how much these students are actually getting impacted by not having any college prep courses like AVID. This is my reflection. I pretty much just kind of went through and say that Average is a college prep class, and as a role as a tutor was to kind of just support and help students with their assignments. And when I was helping Miss Tenna, I was kind of just grading some of those assignments. I chaperoned for field trips. I created human connections with students beyond just them being my students, and actually creating a trusting, partnership between some of them. I created strong social skills with my students as well, and my young age allowed students to like also let me in when it is compared to teachers. Sometimes they could be out of date or whatever you want to say. Um, and I think, like I said, convince our principal that there needs to be more Avid classes for our school. This is how I plan to keep up with the organization, visit the students every now and then, keep in touch with Miss Tenna. I do also plan to stay in my hometown so when I teach. So this will also keep me informed on what's going on in the high school. And then I also have family friends who go to the high school, so I'll always keep up with the organization. Cool. Just like to say thank you, class, for listening to that. And then these are my references right here and a little photo of us on a UCLA trip. Thank you, guys.